Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. I'm Phil TMNT, and I bet it's like no secret by now that like Wonder Woman 3 has reportedly been canned at this point. And I'm actually going to be reading this Geeks and Gamers article that says James Gunn weighs in on the DC report, more on Wonder Woman 3. So I guess we're going to get some like clarification or whatever. So let's read, shall we? Some clarification, depending on what turns out to be true, has come regarding yesterday's DC Studios exclusive from the Hollywood Reporter. And when they mean yesterday, they mean December 8th. So yeah, just keep that in mind. First, James Gunn took to Twitter to comment on, which it's like 5 screenshots that I'm just eyeballing right now. So let's read. So as for the and this is in Gunn's words, to clarify. Anyways, so as for the story yesterday in the Hollywood Reporter, some of it is true, some of it is half true, some of it is not true, and some of it we haven't decided yet whether it's true or not. Although the first month of DC has been fruitful, building the next 10 years of story takes time, and we're just beginning. Peter and I chose to helm DC Studios knowing where we were coming into a fractious environment, both in the stories being told and in the audience itself, and there would be an unavoidable transitional period as we moved into telling a cohesive story across the film, TV, animation, and gaming. Yeah, I do remember hearing that their plans is to like do a shared universe, kind of like how the um, MCU has been with its shows and movies, but just take it one step further with the games as well. So there's that. Anyways, continuing. But in the end, the drawbacks of the transitional period were dwarfed by the creative possibilities, an opportunity to build upon what has worked in the DC so far, and to help ratify what is not. We know we're not going to make every single person happy every step of the way, but we can promise everything we do is done in the service of the story and the service of the DC characters you know you cherish and we have cherished our whole lives. We know we're not going to make every single person. Oh wait, or that. As for more answers about the future of the DCU, I will sadly have to ask you to wait. We are giving these characters and stories the time and attention they deserve, and we ourselves still have a lot more questions to ask and answer. And I like that. Before I get into the article more, I actually do dig that. Because I feel like for the most part, Marvel has been better in the movie area, and DC has been better in the TV bit area. Um, but the fact that Gunn said that we are giving these characters and stories the time and attention they deserve, and we ourselves still have a lot more questions to ask and answer. That statement alone brings some comfort to me personally. So yeah, there's that. So continuing with the article, Gunn's statement makes sense, and again, I like how he goes straight to fans via Twitter, instead of going through a media outlet that can spin his words however they want. Most of what he says boils down to telling everyone that little is set in stone. He and Peter Safran are still working on the DC universe, and it will take time to figure out how to make everything work, and that perfectly that's perfectly reasonable. building a film, TV studio, a film, TV, a film, TV, animation, video game shared universe using established characters, some of whom are among the most beloved in the world, will be Andreas would be an Andreas task. I'm probably pushing that word. Andreas task, even if they were starting from scratch. But these guys have to contend with a decade of mostly bad movies that have good elements, and even the lousy stuff has some fans. Gunn says he and Saffron are going to build upon what has worked and rectify what has not, which I think indicates that they're keeping on some of the actors, particularly Henry Cavill and Gal Gadot. Before I continue, actually no, I take that back. I'm worried. As I said yesterday, I guess they made an article yesterday, or yesterday by the time I'm recording this video, which is December 9th. Getting rid of Cavill now would be an embarrassment and massive loss of goodwill. And that is true. Because Cavill, like, I think, at least for the most part, from what I've been hearing, Cavill is, like, has been universally accepted for the most part to be Superman. And a lot, like, there are some people, present party included, that want to see Henry Cavill Superman movie, or getting his another Superman movie. It's like it's another standalone Superman movie. Whether this Superman movie is going to be connected to the Man of Steel or not, the question will remain. But I have to agree with the last statement. Getting rid of Cavill now will be a loss of goodwill on DC's part. Now, I even said on my own channel, that Wonder Woman is my favorite Justice League member. And I do so love Gal Gadot's performance as Wonder Woman. I love the first Wonder Woman movie. The second one, I'll admit, was a hot mess. It could have been handled better. So part of me is butthurt there are reports that or rumors, as to say, I'm keeping them rumored until I see James Gunn or the DC Twitter handle will really report this. But still, this still saddens me that there might not be a Wonder Woman 3. And here's why. Even though the second one was the first one was good, Gal Gadot is a really great Wonder Woman. Loved her performance as Wonder Woman, Batman vs Superman, the two Wonder Woman movies she was in, and the Justice League. I loved her performance in those movies as Wonder Woman and Diana Prince. So I think her first on Wonder Woman deserves that bit of a third movie to get that quote unquote bad taste out of people's mouths. That is Wonder Woman 1984. That's just me. And with Gal Gadot, I want this version, want Wonder Woman 3 to be set in the present day. Because we got pretty much two movies that were prequels. Now, it would be great to have a Wonder Woman movie being set in a modern time. In the current year era, if that makes sense. So, right now it's 2022. We'd be great to see a Wonder Woman movie that's set in 2022 is where I'm getting at. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Anyways, let's continue. And as for Gadot, part of the why I think she's likely to stay, I also have the obvious fact that pretty much everyone thinks she's a great Wonder Woman, is today's quote-unquote clarification. If you want to call it that. Of course, of yesterday's report. There have been two. One from the deadline and one from the wrap. which says it's an exclusive despite the timestamp being over an hour later than deadlines. Regarding Wonder Woman 3, both have sources who tells them that Patty Jenkins was not fired but chose to leave when her script was rejected. They say that Michael D. Luca and Pam Abdi, co-CEOs of Warner Bros. Picture Group, didn't understand her script, didn't like the character arcs, and didn't think it would fit with the future of the DC universe. Nor did James Gunn and Peter Safran when they eventually saw it. Jenkins argued back, and when the others asked her if she liked to write a new draft and gave her some notes, she walked. Deadline says that the role is still Gadot's if she wants it. Jenkins sounds like she's got a big head, which has to be off-putting after how Wonder Woman 84 was received. And if she just stormed off without even trying to work with Warner Bros., maybe it's for the best. Now, I want to comment on that part, because who knows, like, on one hand, I kind of, like, am saying, okay, I can kind of see where this person's coming from, but on the other hand, we don't exactly know all the details. And me, personally, I don't want to, like, really, like, quote-unquote judge Patty Jenkins until I get her side. Because if we don't get her side, it's more like everybody's making assumptions. And without, like, going to the source. And to prevent myself from, like calling, like, Patty Jenkins, like a quote-unquote drama queen. But yeah, before calling her a drama queen, I would rather hear her side first before I make any judgments against her. So, like I said, up until we get her side, I am personally reserving any judgment about Patty Jenkins. That's it, let's continue. I hope Gadot stays on, though she seems to want to keep playing her, Diana. And in a tweet, Gal Gadot says, a few years ago, it was announced that I was going to play Wonder Woman. I've been so grateful for the opportunity to play such an incredible, iconic character, and more than anything, I'm grateful for you, the fans. Can't wait to share her next chapter with you. And, this was released on, like, December 6th, being her tweet. For if any of you guys were wondering. And it sounds like the intentions of Deadline sources, a single one in this case, is correct. Deadline is told that nobody was considering not continuing with these actors, and that a lot of hinges on how successful The Flash and Aquaman and The Lost Kingdom are. Cavill is said to have taken it upon himself to announce his return before a deal was in place, but I don't know if I believe that. The messaging from him, The Rock, and Dave Zaslav has been too constant for it to be an unnatural move on Cavill's part, unless Zaslav is playing along for some strange reason. Gunn and Safran haven't weighed in, but they haven't been specific about anything because their DC universe is still a work in progress, and probably will be for some time. They also haven't yet spoken to Zaslav, who has to okay everything. The other X Factor is Ezra Miller, whose fate is undetermined at this time. Yeah, because Ezra Miller's a hot mess. From some of the things I've been hearing. But I do pray that, that Ezra Miller assuming that all of these reports are true, I've heard, or some of these reports I've heard that he does get better. If none of these reports are true, I just hope that the situation gets better and the truth will come out. That's all I have to say about Ezra Miller. Deadline's informers tell us them there's no word on Black Adam 2, but Deadline says the reports of the first movie losing money are false, and it really does figure to make Warner Bros. Discovery over $50 million, as The Rock tweeted the other day. And a part of me, I'll admit, part of me personally would love to see a Black Adam 2, only in the fact of to see a Superman and Black Adam fight happen, because I know Dwayne The Rock Johnson wants to see that, and that's a decent concept in mind. I just think that Black Adam should have been like announced, like he should have been in Shazam 2 or 3. And then potentially getting his own movie. And who knows, maybe in that movie would have been like the first Black Adam movie, him facing Superman. Like they could have easily like teased, like Shazam didn't beat Black Adam in what, let's say Shazam 3, for example. And we see the after credit scene of Amanda Waller somehow found her Shazam. I mean, not Shazam, Black Adam. And the conversation plays pretty much the same as it did in the movie that we got of Black Adam. And that's how we got Superman. So there could have been ways where, like, they still could have made it work. And then, Sam, the credit could have led into, like, Black Adam, the movie. The first Black Adam movie. But that's just me. That's how I would have done things. Anyways, at this point we can probably all just give up, though. Let's be real, none of us will. Nobody knows what the hell is going on in Warner Bros. Discovery or DC Studios outside of maybe a handful of people, and that quote-unquote inside info is contradictory and difficult to make heads or tails of when you don't know what's true and what's false. Gunn's cryptic statement about what is and isn't true doesn't help much, at least in that regard, but I don't blame him. This is a job for him, and while it's kind of him to try to ease fans' tension, he and Saffron have got to talk to Zaslav probably a few times between ironing out more details for their plan, before he starts letting us know anything concrete. And hard as it is to wait, it's probably a good thing that it may take a while. I'd rather them work hard on this and get it right than to slap something together and get it out quickly. It also hasn't really been that long. Gunn and Saffron have been in these roles for a month. They'll get where they're going, and hopefully will be better for it, or at least the movies will. So oh yeah, like James Gunn did kind of try to reassure fans in a cryptic way, and I respect that. I do hope that Gal Gadot does continue her role as Wonder Woman, because I really do enjoy her take on Wonder Woman. I like, even though she was saying like what, 3 bad movies, fans may say, like that Batman vs Superman, which is like some people like are amp out. Wonder Woman in 1984, and the theatrical cut of the Justice League. But regardless of how many like quote unquote bad films she was in, mixed with some good like Wonder Woman, the first Wonder Woman movie, and the Snyder Cut's version of Justice League, I did like I said before, I can't stress this enough. I do enjoy Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. I really do. She nails it out of the park, and if like they're gonna go with like the whole Flashpoint story and reboot the universe, the DCEU, then I do hope that they keep Henry Cavill Superman, um Gal Gadot as a Wonder Woman, Jason Momoa as Aquaman. I know they might. I think they had issues with who the dude who plays Cyborg. So I like wouldn't be too surprised if they recasted him. And if Ezra Miller doesn't get his shit together, they're probably going to recast Barry Allen, or just like have like Raleigh West take over the Flash mantle. And they probably will like. I wouldn't be surprised if they recasted Batman. But I would say this: I hope they keep Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, because I do think that Margot Robbie is a pretty good Harley Quinn, even though like the movie she's been in as Harley Quinn was like subpar, like eh. But I do hope like she gets she is she I'm trying to find the right words. She still remains as Harley Quinn, guys. I really do like her portrayal as Harley Quinn, as well as Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman, Jason Momoa's Aquaman, and Henry Cavill Superman. So that's just me. I'm gonna shut up because I've been talking in your guys' ears for like practically nearly half an hour. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. Love you guys. Have a wonderful day. Be kind to one another. And I will talk to you guys later. Later, taters.